Only for you, Casey.
Casey at Night will start in 30 seconds.
And now, introducing Casey Carter.
For the cup, I got what you need. I got what you want. I got what you need. Tell them giddy up. I got horses in the back, trunk in the front. Exterior red and that inside buttercup. I got what you need. I got what you want. I got what you need. Tell them giddy up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Casey Carter.
Hello, hello, hello. It is Wednesday. It is 7:30 and it is time for Casey at Night. And not gonna lie, y'all, I have been waiting for this interview for a minute. And the truth be told, I've interviewed my next guest a few times. As a matter of fact, I say I broke her interview cherry because old girl don't like to do interviews, and yet I think this is our fourth interview. So I'm ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic. I'm not even gonna waste time with the bullshit and talk about other things. We're just gonna go get right into it regarding tonight's guest. And this is my friend Ella Dorsey. Um, if you know Ella, then you know she is a boss babe for real. So let me give you this bio on Ella, and I'm gonna put her on the spot. I'm gonna put her on face on camera as I read this bio. And here's what's funny. I asked her for a bio. She sent me two. There was a cute one and a professional one. Fuck the professional one. We going cute today. And so her bio reads as such. And this is going to give you a really good indication of how fire this chick is. She says, I'm not here to play gatekeeper. I'm here to blow the damn gates wide open. As the chief community officer for SinParty, I live and breathe creator support, camming strategy, and making sure this industry stops sleeping on the real talent. I don't sell empty promises. I build trust, spark momentum, and help creators turn traffic into income. From expos to after hours, I'm the one they call when shit needs to get done and vibes need to stay immaculate. I've got one hand in the business, the other lifting up creators, and both flipping off anything that doesn't serve the community. If you're trying to grow, glow, and get paid while doing it your way, I'm your girl. DMs are always open, but fair warning, I'm not here to whisper. I'm here to be heard. Ladies and gentlemen, Ella motherfucking Dorsey.
So I'm going to give my best friend credit for that because there's no way we had this conversation about bragging on yourself and talking yourself up, and that was a shot in the dark. She was like, what you sent was okay, but send Casey this instead because this is what you really are. I'm glad you read it.
Listen, I absolutely agree. That, and you, like I said, you sent me two. And that one was first. And I was like, oh, that's the shit right there. That's the shit right there. Because I described you as a boss babe, a silent influencer, and an empire architect. So all of that right there, It was perfect. And then you sent me the professional one, and I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing.
You never know. Yeah.
Save save that for the business people. It's me and you, girl. We doing it this way, okay? We're talking. We're gonna talk like we talk when there's nobody watching. So yeah, we're doing this hardcore, and no apologies, none
At all.
given, no fucks, no apologies, no shrinking, no minimizing. We are coming at you full throttle, full energy. Take it or leave it, but you know you want it. That's all I'm saying.
There you
So,
go. It's
Ella,
like, yes,
first of all, I love telling the story of how I met you. Ella,
it's a fun story.
and here's why I like to tell it, because it shows how women, because you know we get a bad rap for how we interact with each other, and it shows how women can truly support each other, want nothing in return. And so Ella and I met in Miami at Exotica. I got off the elevator, and the distance from the elevator to the bar is like, it's like that, it's that far, right? So when I got off the elevator, I saw this beautiful black woman. Understand, if you go to Exotica, there ain't a whole lot of black women. Ain't a lot of us. So it was kind of, like, oh, who is that? And she wasn't dressed like she was a performer or content creator or camera or any of that. Dressed very regular. She had a head wrap on, and I just was like, hmm, okay. And so I kind of eyeballed her for a while as she walked around the room, or not even walked around the room, she flitted around the room talking to various people until finally it we hey girl, hi, how are you, who are you, how what are you doing here, and the rest is history.
I think it's like such a breath of fresh air when pretty girls recognize pretty girls. Do you know what I mean? And there's no hating, there's just all appreciation, because it's one or the other,
Right.
and I usually get the other when I'm like, but I was just coming to tell you that you're pretty. Never mind. I take it back.
Yes, that
So
absolutely.
it's rare when a pretty girl recognizes a pretty girl and you're like, you can be pretty together,
That part.
you know?
And it's okay. As a matter of fact, it's okay if in the moment one is outshining the other, because it's not about um I look better than you, but I can acknowledge you're pretty. It's you. It's your genuine prettiness, your energy. And because I'm human, I saw you physically first. But like I said, I watched you in the room, and picked up on your energy and was like, I want to know her. I want to know who that is. I want to be her friend. And like I said, we sort of hit it off right from the introduction, and our relationship has sort of grown. And I think that was 2021.
Yeah.
And right
Yeah.
out the gate, I was like, I want to interview you. You were like, I don't do interviews. I'm like, okay, but I want to interview you. You're like, but I don't do interviews. I'm like, but I'm gonna interview you. And you pushed yourself to do the interview, and it was really really crazy because at the time you were working for a different company, and we're going to talk about SinParty in a minute, but at the time you were working for a different company, and you said something in that moment that I was like, oh yeah, me and her are going to have a whole lot of fun. And you were, very eloquent, as if you're used to doing interviews. And then you made this statement about it's like hoarding horny cats or something like that.
It's like hurting like horny kittens.
Right. And I was
Because they're
like,
all so cute and adorable, but they're all horny and they're just,
all over the place.
all over the place.
And
Yeah.
you said it with a straight face. And I watched you in that moment because while you and I were connecting, you had your eye on everything that was going on in the booth, walking by the booth, and you never skipped a beat in terms of you and I and our engagement, but you watching and being aware of what was going on around you. And it's, said a lot to me about your ability to do your job and not in that moment be so in Ella that you lost sight of what else was going on. And that's, I don't know, just fucking amazing to me because it's not, a lot of people would have completely turned off everything else to have their own personal moment, but that's not what you did. You were so focused on everything. And yet, and let me say this, that interview, the number of views on that interview for somebody who doesn't like to do interviews, it was crazy. The number of interviews, like the views were insane for that interview. And it also said to me that you were very highly respected and appreciated because a lot of those interviews came from the folks in the booth, the creators in the industry who knew you. And again, I'm like, okay, I don't know who this chick is, but she about to be my bestie. She didn't know it, but we about to be besties because I could appreciate the fact that other people thought so highly of you. So kudos to you, girl.
Thank you. I think what it is I am big on the person's personal brand and making sure that that brand shines. And I'm comfortable being behind the camera, making
See?
sure making sure that my creators or creators that I'm helping, talent, whatever, are shining to like their best of their ability. And I'm also about them making their money. They know I'm not going to play around about that. We're all hustlers in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I got along, or I get along with a lot of creators and talent, because it is what it is. There's no bullshit. We're all adults. I'm going to tell you, like, you kind of suck. But here's the bright side. You can only go up from here. Let me help you. Let me help you. I've had people that have told me that, even though I don't think I have a personal brand or anything, but I've had people like tell me like, you know what? That's not good, but let me tweak it. Perfect example. Me and you have pictures. The titties were sagging a little bit, and you literally scooped those bitches up and like had them up to here for the picture. And it was like, you know what? I trust you. One titty girl to another titty girl. You got this. We all have our strengths.
Okay, I didn't necessarily think you were gonna tell them that because that is,
I mean,
but
it's a
so
trust thing.
it no, and it's what's funny about that moment is I didn't. So okay, so in the arena that we exist in, consent is a thing, and in that moment, I saw you as my girlfriend, and as my girlfriend, girl, let me fix your tits. And I didn't
And
think
I
to stop and
expect,
ask.
no, because I expect you to. Here's the thing, because if I see a picture and the titties are down to my knees, it's never going to be shown. So consent was already given. As soon as you zoomed in, I'm like, yeah, titties are getting fixed. But I mean, I think that's why, SinParty had hired me, because I have this great, brutally honest relationship with, these creators, like it's a new website, try it out. Oh, it sucks. Tell me what sucks about it so I can go and change it or modify it or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
There are a lot of sites and a lot of people on my side that don't listen to the creator or talent. And sometimes people forget that if it wasn't for talent, we would not have
This
jobs. We would not be in
right,
this industry.
right.
And I think that, they can see that in me. They see that genuineness in me. Like, I'm like, I'm not going to bullshit you. This is what it is. Try it out. If you don't try it, if you don't like it, at least you tried it. You know, we're in a sex industry. Be a trisexual with limits.
Be a trisexual. Okay. So, since we're talking about Sin Party, tell us a little bit more about Sin Party. I mean, because here's the thing, let's just be honest, and this is no shade
Yeah.
at Sin Party. Content sites, for the most part, are all kind of the same. So,
Hmm.
what allows Sin Party to stand out, and what was it that you found interesting enough that you were willing to put your brand and your name on it?
Sure, sure. That's actually a really good question. I think what really stood out for me was that, we're fully privately funded,
Mm.
which is unheard of in our industry. And then also, our, CEO and our CTO are former execs with Chatterbait. So people were coming in with a wealth of knowledge and experience to build a new site for. We're not competing, we're just giving you another place to diversify. We're in a very volatile, industry. One day a site is going to be here, the next day it's gone, or it's merged to another site, and
Right.
then you're getting fucked on the percentages for your content or something like that. My site is giving you another option to where you can cam. If you don't want to cam but you have a whole bunch of content, you can post your content as well. So it's just another diversifying option. Another fun thing about it is there's a casino aspect to it. So, we are implementing games that you can play with your fans as well. And it's kind of cool because, the creator always ends up winning. So there's like a slot machine that the fan is playing, but the fan is winning tokens, but then it's going to go back to the
Right.
creator, so it's like a win-win. So it's a really, really fun site. It's, user friendly. I'm a millennial, so it has to be idiot proof for me. And if I could figure it out, baby. No, let me just put it this way. My mom can figure it out.
Oh.
So, and my mom, she supports what I do. And if my mom could figure it out,
And and let me just say, when you're a mother, when you are a woman who is in some capacity in the, for lack of a better phrase, adult entertainment industry in some capacity, when your mom supports it, it's a whole nother, like, I could go down a whole rabbit hole on that. It's another game. Like, it is literally a game changer in how you pursue that venture.
right. And I think that unfortunately, it doesn't come across a lot in our industry. So as a result, a lot of creators call me daddy. I welcome it. I welcome it. I welcome it. When I was running those booths and I had that daddy hat on, they were like, oh, she came to work. She's probably mad. she she's not one to be played with. Daddy is here. So
No, no, and here's what's funny is, when you were with the other company, they had a large space on the floor, and
thanks to
it's
me.
hard not to be walking past their space because of how much space they occupied. And so, again, once you and I became friends, Lorenzo and I, we would make sure to walk by. We'd go looking. Where's Ella? Okay, she's busy. We
Do you
could
know what
tell.
though?
We could tell when's a good time to holler at Ella and when is a time you keep walking past the booth because Ella's
Because
handling her business.
I had a point to prove. When I got to
Mhm.
the booth, it was like around 35, 40 people, no more than 50 people that were at that booth. And I was like, what's going on here? This is supposed to be fun. We have all these bright colors. Why aren't we doing something to be a spectacle or whatever?
Right.
And so I started implementing all of these silly little things that would engage the creators, and we would create spectacles. And then before you know it, we're growing out of the space because so many people wanted to come and have fun
Yes.
at that booth. And I think like at the time I left, it was like right at 150 for Exotica, which
It was a lot. It was a
I don't
lot.
know if I broke a record or not, but I'm
I
pretty proud of
listen.
it.
I'm gonna say this because again, you my motherfucking friend, and I'm gonna just say it. But after you left, immediately after you left, not the same. Not even close to the same. Like there were times it was a ghost town in that booth. And there's evidence to prove. There's pictures, videos. It was a ghost town after you left. It was so when you were there was merch everywhere. There was constant engaging of the attendees. There was merch being given out. After you, silence.
Also you also have to think about, you know, the people that came after me, everybody's different. I had a background where I worked at W Hotels, which, as you know, super, super fun. I worked for Comic Con. So, I have that nerdy background where I'm thinking of all of these fun little games that we can play. And I realize that, you know, I have something special in that I come up with these wackadoo ideas that just seem to work. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that that doesn't happen with a lot of people. They don't think outside of the box. And I don't know if it's because I'm left handed or I'm a double water sign. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is, you know, the pressure that, the creators have, our talent has when they go to these events, like for you, for instance, you're going to these events, you're wearing these beautiful costumes and outfits, and we know that it's not for you. We know that it's for your fans. We
Right.
know that you have to turn on Casey as soon as you walk through that door. Casey is on, you know? And so it's my job and my responsibility to make sure that Casey always stays on and that she's at her best when these fans are walking up.
Right.
And that if that means taking, getting down on the ground and taking pictures of you because I'm having like Amazon giantress moments, to where like, I don't know, you're motorboating Dirty Santa. I don't know. If we need to get the shot, I'm going to get the fucking shot because I know that there's a fan that is secretly gooning about, after you, and it's fucking Gooner University at Exotica, and that's my job. My job is to make sure that somebody is leaving jerking off to you. As long as one person is jerking off to you, then I've done my job. So,
Oh my God, Ella. And listen, on that note, because I wanna circle back to something you said about what you've been doing to help me lately. So we're doing do a quick little break, and then we're gonna talk about the girl stuff that you and I have been doing at Exotica lately. Because especially because Exotica Miami is coming up. So hold that thought. We'll be right back. when I said quick break, I meant quick. Like that was a really quick one.
Quick as hell.
Um, Listen, I'm trying to like set this up so that I can like cut the show and show pieces here and there. So I'm trying to
I got you.
but so here's what's interesting. Since leaving that other place and joining SinParty, I have
Yes.
definitely watched you work more personally with individuals, playing to their strengths. Like, for example,
Yeah.
my co host on BoobTube, Carrie Anthony, you and I have talked about the fact that, she's a camera content creator, this, that, or the other. And we've talked about how you've played into that and given her merch or something to focus on to for her to just do what she does, and in support of the site and all of that. And I know for me lately, as you've played into the fact that I love these moments, I love interviewing, I love talking to people. And yes, I have developed quite the reputation for the costumes at Exotica. Because in case you don't know, I don't do porn. I'm I'm not even gonna call myself a content creator because I prefer custom videos because I have ADD. It takes a lot for me to stop and focus and do those things. I will selfie like a motherfucker all day. My big thing, if you wanted me to create content for you, I'm gonna smoke cigars until I light a fire in my backyard. Like there are things that I'm very specifically interested in. But what I've appreciated about what we've done lately, and especially because we are now, we see each other at Exoticas, you've you I don't know, there's what I have in my mind, and then I've kind of leaned into what you've had in your mind about Casey Carter. And so, I mean, like, talk about that a little bit. Because I think the reason why I want you
Yeah.
to talk about it is because I think it demonstrates your passion for helping creators, for, as I say, being a silent influencer and an empire architect. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I think I look and I see, okay, what's Casey doing? What is going to be, what's her brand? What's the theme? And then I take what you're trying to do and what you're trying to convey for that event and I run with it. And let's be fair, you have amazing taste and creativity and style. You do. It's just I'm a little bit wacky and I think of shit for outside the box. you know? So I just look and I'm like, okay, how can I see all of these people looking at Casey? How can I elevate that costume to the next level where you're still being authentically you and you're fucking sexy at the exact same time and you're comfortable? That's super, super important to me because I can sex up or make anybody look sexy, but it's not going to, come through if you don't feel it. Do you know what I mean? So you're already there. It's just like, okay, how can we take it to the next level to where people are like, I wouldn't have thought of doing that, like putting fishnets over leggings.
Yeah.
Who'd have
Okay.
thought?
So wait, let's talk about how that happened, because I had these shiny leggings on. And listen, I'm gonna tell you all a secret. All my outfits, Amazon. Every last one of these outfits, head to toe, are Amazon. So this was one of those moments where the pants started to fall apart in the thighs. And I pointed it out to Ella, and Ella's like, no, you can't really see that. But I'm a perfectionist when it comes to these
And
outfits.
it's one of those things it's there, so it's gonna bother you. So I get
Right.
that.
And so Ella had this brilliant idea, and we went to Was that the Chazzy booth? Which booth did we go to get the fishnets? I don't
I think
remember.
it was like the Chazzy.
Right. Because I
Think
go
it
to
was the
that booth every
Chazzy booth.
time. I
Yeah.
go to that booth every time. But anyway, so we went to the Chazzy booth. We picked up these fishnets. We picked up a very deliberate pair of fishnets. They were black and they had rhinestones on them. And I put them on over the leggings. I had to cut out the feet so that I could pull them up over my boots. And by the time we put this outfit together, I'm like, oh my fucking God. The outfit was fucking fire. I'm sorry, I don't have the pictures readily available to show you, but it was
It was
fucking
definitely
fire.
a moment. It was definitely a moment.
And the crazy thing
Yeah.
is, I get compliments on my outfits all the time, but the number of compliments I got on these pants. And so the next day, I'm like, we gotta go get another pair because I can't now wear these regular ass leggings. So that next day, the leggings were red. We couldn't really find the right color, so we ended up with blue or purple.
Purple.
Let
Purple.
me
Because color will. Yeah.
let me tell you something. The purple was even more fire because it gave like a scaly look. It ended up looking like a superhero costume.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you had like that mesh, like you were giving like villain from DC comic. Like it was giving like Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
totally aging myself.
That's okay because I'm older than you, boo boo. So it's all good. It's all good.
Dick Tracy, the movie Dick Tracy, that's what I was pulling inspiration from when I was styling you from like that last time because I just watched that. It was such a campy,
Mm-hmm.
cartoony movie with freaking Madonna.
Madonna.
But that's how I get my inspiration. Like if I know that I can push the limits with you as far as like styling, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Like I hope that those are watching are going to be able to see what is going to be created for Miami. I'm already starting to think about New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. So okay. So what I initially
Yeah.
wanted for Miami, because after, so let me just say this: the outfits from that was what Jersey, I think the 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 fishnet thing. We kind of sort of had this conversation about some anime type looks, and I couldn't quite find what I wanted. So Miami is very Miami, in my opinion. The outfits that we picked, very Miami. But Ella, she gifted me with this. I'm not going to tell you. I have been like it's literally sitting in my closet every single day. I'm studying this thing because Jersey for me is the place for this particular piece.
I'll bring mine. We'll match. We'll be cat burglars.
Ooh, ooh,
We'll talk offline. I just got a
yeah,
vision. Where's my
yeah.
pen? Let me write this shit down because I smoke.
Yeah. So here's the point. Here's my point in sharing this with you is Ella genuinely saw me and what I do and who I am and said, "Okay, like how about let's try this? Trust me and let's do this." Even in terms of taking pictures and oh, well, let me talk to you about that. Hold on. Now, if you know Casey, you know Casey is a selfie motherfucker. If you're gonna come up to me, we gonna take a selfie. It's just facts. If you don't want to take a selfie with Casey, don't come up to where I'm at because we
So
gonna take a
true.
selfie. We're taking a selfie. Prior to prior to now, like when I first met Ella, like I said, she didn't want to do interview. It was a very uncomfortable thing for Ella, even though she was amazing.
Full
In the last
disclosure, it's still uncomfortable now.
and she's still amazing. But in the last couple of years, baby, you try to find where I'm not in pictures with Ella. I've got so many selfies with Ella. You just lucky I didn't load them babies up. But however, if you're on my Instagram, you will see some of these pictures with Ella.
Do you
I
know what it
just
is? I'm really big on manifestations, and I'm really big on improving yourself. And I know that one of the things that I need to do as far as like my self-improvement is being out there more. Like I know what I'm talking about. I have
yep.
the knowledge. I'm very intelligent. I don't I shouldn't, dim myself to make others feel comfortable, which
We do this.
as a black woman,
We do it. It's automatic. It's in our
we
nature.
we do this. It's automatic, like, oh no, let me make you feel comfortable. Well, I got tired of that, and now I'm in the season of, I don't want to be comfortable. I need to be out there a little bit more. I'm like with a brand new site, and I realize that if I am not showing my face, it's out of sight, out of mind. I realize that I am the face of the site, so I need to be in front of cameras a little bit more, talking to more
Yeah.
people. With that
Well,
being said,
but
I
that's
got to
the thing.
surround
You're
myself with hams. I got to surround myself with hams,
yeah,
you
but
know?
here's what's funny though. You were not uncomfortable talking to people. Like I've watched
you
you.
know,
You and I spent a lot of time in the VIP this last time in Chicago.
so
And
bougie.
it, listen, don't start with me, okay? I ain't apologizing for being bougie. I'm bougie like a motherfucker, okay? So it is what it is. But and again, like I said, I have spent a lot of time observing you. And
Yeah.
what I can appreciate for someone who doesn't necessarily like to be in the limelight, you are a fucking master at making connections. Every time we went into the VIP, it was Casey, let me introduce you to this one. Casey, let me introduce you to that one. This like that was our whole VIP. It got to the point where I'm like, are we going to the VIP now? Because I'm waiting to see who's going to be in the VIP that I need to meet. And that's the thing I've really grown to appreciate about you is here's the thing. Ella is very unassuming, right? Like Ella, she's going to be in her funky little t-shirts, her Doc Martens,
Or
um
Jay's.
mm, in her Doc Martens, and she's going to make you think she's just some random chick, right? No. Mm-mm. Ella Ella knows every fucking body, and every fucking body knows Ella. And I'm not gonna call somebody out, but we were recently at an Exotica where somebody was like, "Well, do you know me?" And Ella was like, "Do you know me? What are you talking about?"
Wait, but okay, just to be fair, to be
Be fair.
fair,
Be fair.
whenever somebody is like, "Do you know me?" I know that I have a bad memory. And so if
Remember
I'm
like a
like, "Ooh, I don't know you, but do you know me?" And if they're like, "Yes, I do know you," then I'll immediately apologize and be like, "I'm so sorry. I forgot who you were. What's your name? Let's start over again," or whatever. So it's not like I'm not trying to be an asshole, but there was one time where this famous rapper came in New Jersey a few years ago, and he was like, "Do you know who I am?" And I knew exactly who he was, but I didn't want to give him the satisfaction. I was like, "No, but do you know who I am?"
Oh my
And
god, I
that's the
love
only time that I wanted to flex.
that.
Nor and you have to remember the reason why these people know me is because ego does not belong anywhere near me, okay? I try to be as humble as I can. If I'm going to cuss somebody out, I'm going to cuss them out on behalf of somebody else. It's rare that it's on behalf of me. It's always on behalf of somebody else. So I'm always going to stay humble, and I'm always going to make sure that models are taken care of, because at the end of the day, we're all in the same fucking industry, and it's us against them, do you know? And so you know, one of my favorite stories I love to tell is I was at an event and there was a competitor that came up and was like, "Hey, my models are hungry. Can they have some of your buffet?" And I was like, "Absolutely. If you guys are hungry, I will feed. I don't care. Come and eat."
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of that, I'm really good friends with that person now who's very high in the industry because I wasn't being a fucking dick. It takes less energy to just be nice to people
It
and be
does.
genuine. And I try to be I'm not nice, I'm kind.
I'm sorry. This started off by saying I'm not really nice, but no,
I'm kind. I'm kind. And I
yes.
try to be as kind and as respectful to everybody as possible. That's not to say that there's some people that have called me a cunt behind my back. And I have approached them like, "Hi, I heard you call me a cunt." First of all, that's my favorite word. One of my best friends made a whole t-shirt that says cunt on it. Secondly, let's talk about how I pissed you off and what we need to do to fix this relationship. Because 9 times out of 10, if I was a bitch, it's because safety was involved or I
Right.
said no to somebody else and I had to keep it consistent, or
Right.
somebody was on my ass and I got in trouble. I'm like, okay, we can't skirt the gray anymore. We have to, follow the rules. Or Daddy Dan is giving me the look like, "Ella, you know fucking better." And I'm like, "Sorry, Daddy Dan." Hi,
Okay,
Dan.
let's talk about the fact
Shout out to
Daddy Dan
Dan.
is huge. Daddy Dan
Shout
is
out
huge.
Dan. Shout out Jay.
Huge. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm gonna do another quick break because I want to come back. I want to make sure I give ample time to something I'm calling things Ella heard or said. And let me tell you, it is often the highlight of my day when she drops these little pearls on me. So hold on, we're gonna do another quick break.
Watch Casey Carter and her co-host, Carrie Anthony and Desiree on Exotica TV's BoobTube, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on YouTube and Twitter at Exotica TV. Join the ladies each week as they talk about what's hot and what's not on TV, streaming, and in theaters. Don't miss them and Jay, the man behind the sound effects. Wednesdays at 9 p.m. on Exotica TV.
What could possibly go wrong?
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up.
Okay. So, real quick, I want to give a shout out that middle promo for Ancestry Cigars. I want to give a shout out to the creator developer of Ancestry Cigars. Again, if you know Casey well enough, you know I am a huge cigar aficionado. And a very dear friend of mine by the name of Sekou Nia introduced me to Enid Blanchard out of Chicago, and Ancestry Cigars is her line of cigars. So big shout out to Enid. Thank you for letting me run that promo for you. And congratulations on the collaboration with BAMF Cigars. I'm looking forward to what that looks like. But Ella, I can't even think of when it was, but Ella said something to me one time that I was like, "The fuck did you just say? What did you just say? And what the hell does that even mean?" And I've just been sort of gobbling up these little sayings, and the let me just real quick the one that she said that started it all for me, and we're about to put
My
these up on
favorite
the screen,
one.
but the one that she said that just started it all for me, and I'm looking for, oh, it ain't even on the list now that I think
Oh,
about
I
it.
know. I remember it.
All right, tell them what it was. And because it's going to show up. No, don't. You know what? Don't tell them what it was. Don't tell them what it was. Let me introduce you to something I'm calling again. What did I say? It was things Ella heard or said. Okay.
Shit,
Um,
Ella says. It's one of those things to where I want you to know that I am so serious about what I have to say that I am going to say something completely ridiculous. Ridiculous. So it'll make you stop and think, wait, did she really just say that?
yeah.
Low key, like insulting me, but not really, you
So,
know?
as I said, things Ella heard or said. So here's our first one. Our first one is Ella, read that for them.
I'll alphabetize glitter before I argue with a clown.
So let me
I
tell you
will
why.
spend all day separating glitter
So
before I
I
argue with your clown ass.
I had to put that one up there because in the last few years I have become obsessed with glitter showers. So of course when I saw I will alphabetize glitter, I'm like, do you know how ridiculous that sounds?
Because listen, and I'm pretty sure it had something to do with I hate glitter, but yet because we're friends, I still find glitter randomly in random bags, fucking bras. It just all depends. I randomly find it. And so that's one of those things they say what glitter is the herpes of the art world
Yeah.
because you just can't get rid of
Can't
it.
get rid of it. Forget it. Forget
Who
it.
the hell is going to sit there and color code glitter?
Yeah. I don't know.
Like I'm
It
going to do that before I argue with you.
loves that. Love that. Okay, here's our next one.
Yeah, I'll teach a fish to ride a bike and stress over that. But now fish are evolving and they're starting to breathe outside of water. So it's almost like a double entendre. Like I kind of think of myself as like the petty Kendrick Lamar.
What? Wait. The petty Kendrick Lamar? I'm sorry.
Petty
He's not petty enough.
pettier, pettier, like,
Pettier.
pettier, I don't know. Maybe we took the same English classes. I don't know.
Okay, up next.
Yeah, for real. I will light all the candles around me before I ever dim my light for you. Like, and that's something that I say, like, it's one of the affirmations that I look in the mirror and I tell myself, like, I'm not going to dim my light. Oh, the lighting is looking really, really bad. That's okay. I got a lighter. I will light something. Something will be aflame before I dim myself for you
and here
because uh, it happened unfortunately, and I had to learn how to get out of that. And if it wasn't for friends like you, I would still be dimming my light, you know?
well and like we said earlier, this is an affliction of the black woman. We are
Yeah.
constantly minimizing, dimming our light, shrinking ourselves to make other people, and when I say other people, I mean everybody else, black, white, male, female, young, old, we will shrink to almost nothingness to make someone else comfortable.
I love quoting Glorilla, but in Get 'em Glow, which is like full of affirmations, by the way, listen to it. Like, but she says, before I let a hoe play with me, I'll go eat some gel food on gang. And I'm like, yes,
See,
yes. And that is what encompasses all of the crazy things that I say. Like I'll braid water before I let you fuck with me,
yeah,
you know?
That's the one.
How do you even braid water? How do you
That's
braid water?
right.
You
That right there.
can't.
You hello. Hello.
That part. Because I'll stay quiet. You don't have to talk to me. Like, I'll look at you like a deer in headlights, like, oh, you're talking to me? It happens all the time. It happens all the time. I'm not about to, no, for what? When there is a line of others that are waiting to have a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. And but you know what's funny about that one too is I think again we are programmed to want to draw the attention of a man and to want to have them, like as this says, talk to them, like not just be seen but focus on me. And I don't know, going back to this idea of not dimming my light or lighting candles before I let you, before I dim my light for you, it's kind of the same thing where we have to do better about how we see ourselves. Because I'm not going to
Right.
lie. So, talking about Casey outfits, a lot of the time, all right, full honesty, 100% of the time, my outfits are so fucking intentional. If the tits are out, if the ass is out, if the leg is out, it's because I want you to fucking look at it. It's on purpose. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't,
Right.
oh, by the way, no, I full knew what that shit was going to look like. So, yeah.
Right, right. And I have gotten into being braver with my outfits.
Thank you,
Um,
Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
You'd have been so proud of me.
We'll talk about,
Somebody talked me into wearing cheeky, like the ass was out this last time I was in Miami.
yeah,
You'd
we're
have
going to
been
talk about
so
that.
proud of me.
We're going to talk about that because you said you were going to do it. And I've been meaning
I
to
did
ask
it.
you if you did do it. And then I wanted to know if there was photographic evidence.
I think there's a video of somebody recording me walking away in an
Ooh.
outfit,
Ooh.
but I don't know. There might be one or two pictures, but I'm not quite sure. I
Okay.
gotta
Well,
ask.
we will applaud the fact that you came out of these Doc Martens and the t-shirt to be ass
Cheers
out.
to that.
Cheers to
I
that.
know.
I
I
am
went
very proud of
from
you, Ella.
like
Cuz let's just be honest.
stutterella.
Ella, you are a fucking dime, okay? So why we're trying to hide, better yet, I'm not even trying to get you out of your docs. How about you put the little booty shorts on with your docs?
But you know what? That's a perfect fucking question to ask. The reason why I dress down is because it's not my place to dress up or out when I'm around a whole bunch of creators and talent,
I give you that,
you
but I'm talking
know,
about when Ella is
because
being Ella. Like when Ella is there for Ella. Not those moments, the other moments.
when Ella is there for Ella and there's a circle of trust. And remember, I'm millennial before like internet was a thing, and I find beauty in no photos
Okay.
on everything, you know? Then like
Okay.
yeah, I do get I will yeah. That's why I go out of the country so much cuz nobody knows me. I can like be my most authentic self wherever the fuck I want. Oh my goodness, her titties are out. Yes, they are. But dude, is that Ella? Is that Ella from SinParty? No, it's not. No.
And one of these days
So
I'm growing up so I can just coal and bite myself on one of Ella's international trips cuz
come on, baby. We're going in September. Let's go.
girl, we'll talk offline. Okay, up
Okay.
next.
For real. I'm not about to shrink to make you feel comfortable. You know, you can't even grab fog.
No,
It's
hello.
like it's fleeting.
Mhm.
Fog is fleeting. So if you're uncomfortable, guess what? I'm uncomfortable too. We about to be uncomfortable for, together. I don't care. I don't care because clearly you started it cuz I'm never going to start anything, but I'm petty enough to be like, "Oh, okay, let's play. You want to play? Let's play games." I love me some games. And I love following energies. So,
Yeah.
Again, it might be the double water sign thing. I don't know.
What exactly does it mean to be a double water sign?
When your sun, moon, and rising, like two of them are like in the, so mine is I'm very Pisces,
Very
but
Pisces.
my moon is Aquarius and my rising is Cancer.
Mm.
So I am very, for those that believe it,
Mm-hmm.
um, I am very emotional, but I'm very methodical because
Mm-hmm.
of that Aquarius side.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how to play chess. I treat life like chess. You know, I try
Another
not to treat
reason
my
you're my friend.
relationships like it, but yeah. So yeah, about back to the fog. Y'all, don't shrink yourself down for somebody else's comfort. Fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it moving. Cause whatever don't it's like don't yuck somebody else's yum. You're
Mm-hmm.
yummy to somebody else. I'm yummy to somebody else.
Right.
So yeah,
A
fuck
lot of
off. So
somebody
yeah, that's
else's.
basically.
A lot of somebody
It's
else's.
debatable. I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know.
Ella.
I don't I
Ella.
what other
Ella.
people think about me is none of my
Friend.
business.
Friend. Don't make me fucking call you out. And I don't and if I have to call you out, I will embarrass motherfuckers along the way for
We don't need no names.
thank you. So don't play with me, okay? I've seen
we
you in action. Don't fucking play with me.
I'm professional
You're very
with
professional.
everybody around me.
No, girl, girl,
It's
don't
not
fucking play with
my
me.
fault.
I have, I have stepped back and watched people who I know they are hardcore dominant, like to their molecular fiber. They are hardcore dominant, but they see Ella, it's a whole nother motherfucking ball game.
Because I'm not their pet. That's why. I'm not their pet. And with my personality, like you know what I don't want what's a what's the next level above a dom? Like what is it, master?
Well, I mean, that's more of a
How
dynamic.
do we like dynamic? Yeah, because if you're doming and you're trying to dom me, I'm going to out dom you.
Hmm,
It's we've seen
girl,
it happen.
I have,
Like
I have.
we've seen it happen. We've seen a dom on his knees because like you're not going to mentally fuck me when I'm watching you
Mhm.
mentally fuck all of these girls and these fans, and you think you're going to try to come and do it with me when I've already figured out your game and I'm going to play your game better than you. Oh no, baby. No, baby. You're cute though. You're
and
cute.
and and let me just very quickly for our beloved friend, if you're watching or if you see this, you know we love you. There is no shade, none whatsoever.
Hands fucking down. One of my favorite people.
Mm-hmm.
But I will never delete that. I will never delete that photo.
Okay, and our last thing Ella has said or heard. If I can, where are we at? Hold on. Wait, just bear with me for a second here, people. There we go.
As long as you keep it cute, I'll put it on mute. I got a vicious fucking mouth. You know, they there's a saying, around my family, when they go low, we go Haitian. And I say that with all the love because, that's my heritage.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're not about to do is you're not about to say anything ugly, because my mouth is vicious and I will respectfully disrespect you in front of everybody and not care. Yeah, I said it. What are you gonna do? Fight me? Fight? Okay. But do you have bail money?
Yeah.
Because I do. Like, don't come at me because I've always I am a reformed bad attitude fucking bitch. Don't come at me talking crazy and thinking I'm not going to say something back to you and think that I'm not going to like say something to thoroughly disrespect you, because at this point now I'm mad. Now I got to hurt your feelings. But as long as you keep it cute and keep your mouth shut, I'm going to keep it on mute. And perfect example, there are people in this industry where they're keeping it cute. So I'm keeping it on mute. I listen, I don't know what's wrong with me today. Like I'm comfortable.
And this is why I say, and thank you for humoring me in this little segment. But this is why I say, when you give me that whole I don't do interviews, I'm not comfortable or whatever, I'm like, really? And I will say this, you did the first time you and I did an interview together and I called you out on how well you did and how comfortable you appeared, you know, to just pop my own collar. You were like, it was you that made me feel that kind of comfortable, and I appreciate that.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
you do genuinely just seem to, and I don't know, and I guess that's also at this point me taking advantage of our friendship, because at that time we weren't even really friends, we just had met. So yes, now I'm
Yeah.
taking advantage of our friendship, and you still are just as comfortable, in my opinion, as then.
It's one of those things where it's one on one. I feel comfortable with you. I know that there's not going to be any surprises or any kind of trick questions or anything like that, because I am a PR firm's like nightmare where I'm brutally honest, and I know this about me, and I know that like I feel bad for my brother because he wants to run for office, and I'm like, baby, you go ahead and run for office. They're going to be coming and trying to interview me. I'm just warning you. I got a lot to say. So are you sure you want to run for office when your big sister is going to be the mouth? They're going to be wanting to have more conversation with your big sister with what she's doing, what
Hmm.
industry she's working in,
Right.
and I'm like, no, you know what, go ahead and run, because I'm looking at this as free publicity to help sex workers. We already have Woodhall doing what they have to do, in Washington DC. So we have Pro 13 that's trying to come in with like at home testing. We're doing so much that we can, that if he puts me in that position where he's running for office,
You
I'm
say even
going to be
more.
like diarrhea of the mouth,
Right.
you know? And so that's where I'm at with that. So that's why
Well,
I'm like, I shouldn't be interviewed.
and I'm here for every second of it. I'm so here. Um, so let's real quick, because I'm just fortunate enough today that, sorry, I'm like, you watch yourself in the camera and you're like, okay, I gotta try to fix my shit. But I'm fortunate enough today that I don't have to do boob tube after this. So we are now over our our segment. But of course,
That always happens.
I've also been setting this up so that I could chop it up so I don't give a fuck, because it's my show. But anyway, um, so Miami Exotica. First of all, I want to, man, I want to give a big shout out to Exotica, to Dan and Jay, the producers of Exotica, because Ella said to me, "Hey, you should ask them if you could do red carpet interviews." And I'm not gonna lie, I lollygagged a little bit, and then Jay shows up on BoobTube, and I'm like, "Fuck, here's the moment," and just sort of blurted it out about doing the red carpet interviews, and Jay was like, "Yeah, sure, fine. That sounds good to me." And next thing I know, Dan's like, "Here's the plan. This is what I want you to do." And for the whole weekend in Chicago, well, not the whole weekend, but like, so I'm at the meet and greet on Thursday. Here's what I want you to do. This is what I envision. Like, okay, cool, Dan. And then on the Friday, okay, so this is where it's going to be. Go check it out. Go look for this one. Go look for that one. This one, and I'm like, wow, they really are serious about this. This isn't just like humoring me. Like, it was when Jay said yes, he told Dan. Dan had a plan. And that shit all came together. And at the same time, I'm telling my friend Ella, oh my God, Ella, I'm doing red carpet.
I mean, but it just makes sense. You know, you interview, you're a good interviewer. You give the person time to shine. I've been interviewed by a few people, and I got in, you know, some people don't know how to interview without it turning back around to them. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so you give that person a time to shine whenever you're interviewing them. And so it made sense, like, you know, when the fannies were coming up, I'm like, what do you mean you're not, what do you mean you're not interviewing on the red carpet or whoever wins an award or whatever? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, my vision for you, if like Exotica was down, because like they there's so much cool shit that you could be doing. So
Mm-hmm.
much footage that could be turned into a reality TV show if you really think about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like there's like certain people that you should be hitting
Mm-hmm.
throughout the, you know, the show, like, you know, the people that are, you know, trying to be Mr. and Miss Exotica.
Mm.
After they're, you know, done doing their poll or whatever, you're doing like the, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You're
That's
doing like the
okay.
10-15 minute or 10-15 second, like, how do you feel? What do you think? You know, almost treating it like it's an Olympic sport or something like that. You
Right.
know, there's so many things, and you're such a beautiful person with such a big personality. I'm like, there, why aren't more people seeing this? And so that's why I was like, no, you should definitely be on the fannies, because the fuck?
And let me say this, it in terms of like having bucket list items, red carpet interview was on the list. And so, and I'm this person where I don't believe in narrowing down and being so hyper specific that things never come and they never manifest. So just red carpet interview. And so when you suggested it, I immediately was like, yes, there you go. Because in my mind, I love the concept of the field of dreams. If you build it, they will come. Not everybody knows Exotica. However, I can say I did red carpet interview, and here's all the footage. I was the only one there doing the actual, doing actual interviews. And I'm going to say this for forever until I get this interview. I literally asked every single person who stood in front of me what their name was. If they were nominated, not nominated, escorting a nominee, just showing up for the event. There is only one person whose name I did not ask and who I did not talk to. And it blows my fucking mind because I'm not that person. I'm not the one. I didn't ignore a single person who stepped in front
Right,
of that step
right.
and repeat. The one person I did not ask or talk to was Jason Love.
Shout out Jason Love. Shout out Jason Love.
And I'm going to talk
He
about this until I get a fucking interview, okay? Because
Jason is one of the nicest people. Listen, after this, send this to me. I'll DM him. He's one of the like most nicest people, just so humble, so absolutely hilarious. I was doing this whole thing on human sexuality when I was in school, and he was one of the people that I picked, him and Lindsey Graham, for obvious reasons. So, you know, it was really funny seeing him, you know, when we were in Chicago. And I was like, by the way, you got me an A. And he's a big nerd too. And he was like, wait, what are you talking about? And we sat there and talked for like a good 10-15 minutes on like, you know, what sex is with the United States, where everything is going with like, and like how he like played a part, like crazy, how he played a part to make it like socially acceptable for porn to be mainstream. Because if you think
mm,
about it, he was one of the first ones to come out with BuzzFeed.
Mm,
to make it socially acceptable.
okay.
We had all of the other porn stars and the other talent that were on, think about like HBO,
Mm-hmm.
HBO After Dark, Real
Right.
Sex, stuff like
Right.
that. There's
Right.
never, or like they were like on mainstream when there was like a scandal, like,
Mm-hmm.
stuff that happened with our current president, stuff like that. But with him, he was one of the only ones that I can think of that was just on BuzzFeed doing a funny little like interview. If it's like, if you know type situation. And I
Okay.
was like, that is how people are going to be more comfortable with the
Right.
industry that we are in. He got fans not because of what he does in our industry, but because of his personality and how well spoken he was in that original BuzzFeed, interview. And I don't know this man. I do not know this man. I've only talked to him maybe like
Okay.
twice. But if like I hear a lot of people that are saying that they don't want to really be in this physical aspect of the space anymore and they want to evolve into more of like social media or whatever. And he's literally doing that,
Okay.
and he's done it quietly. So he's
Mm,
been smart, or his team around him has been very smart. We're going to get you that interview. I'm speaking it into existence. It's going to happen.
thank you. I appreciate that
You're
because
welcome.
I'm not, because again, if you watch the footage on Instagram, you will see me talk to every person that comes along. He stepped up to the step and repeat with Vicky Chase. I had a fangirl moment. I didn't say a goddamn word to him. Nothing.
Makes sense. It listen. It makes sense. It totally makes sense. I get it. It happens. But you know what? We're gonna make it happen. You know who I was excited to meet in Chicago that I finally met after like 8 years?
Who's
Fucking
that?
Erica Icon. Cause
Okay.
she's an icon.
Right? Right? And girl, the
Yeah.
backstory behind our relationship, it is quite the story. Quite the story. But I will say this, I am glad that the ugly thing that happened, because it is why she and I are friends now. It is why, oh my God, if Erica and I get on the phone, like we'll get into texting each other, but if we get on the phone, 2 hours minimally. What are we talking about? Every fucking thing,
I
everything.
love
We're
that.
talking about any and everything. It's not even always industry related. And she doesn't represent me. I've never asked her. It's just genuine friendship. We were at an event together in Las Vegas, and immediately, kind of the way you and I connected, it just immediately became cool.
It's
And
it's real, recognizes real.
here's the thing, I recognize that she has a personality that is hard for some people to deal with. However,
I
that is
kind of
what I
like
like
it.
about Erica. Erica is, she's not going to fluff it up. She's not going to gloss it up. She's not going to blow smoke up your ass. She's going to tell you the hardcore facts, like it or not. And if you don't like it, it's okay. You don't have to.
I would totally bottom for her. Now she's a real dom.
I'm writing that down.
Totally bottom for her, but like, yes, mommy.
When I tell you, I love our, and most of the time, these conversations, because she's in California, I'm in Atlanta, most of these conversations are late at night. And it often starts off with, hey, you busy? Can I talk to you about something? And then the next thing you know, it's 2 hours. And the only reason we hang up is because it's been 2 hours. It's the only reason.
Somebody gotta go sleep. And I love her. Another person that is like my favorite in the industry is Megan Stokes. Megan
Mm.
is a girl's girl. Like I Melrose sex work CEO, girl's girl. Like I love like Andra. with Cam 4. Girls, girl. I love girls. I love girls that are in this industry that know how hard it is. No shade to the dudes, but
Right.
the girls know how hard it is, and we all support each other, even though we're competitors with different sites or whatever. We all support each other, And so I'm forever, I love those girls down, like whatever they need, because they're like, no, we need more women in the industry.
Right.
We need more smart women in the industry, especially like, on my side. We need, more ethnic women in the industry, especially on my side. I realize how rare it is,
It is.
Bree with NMG, fucking love her. I realize it's just me and Bree. We are the only POC women on this side of the industry. And
Wow.
I realize how much harder we have to work. And I love all of my people. I do. I love all of my people. My people that I'm going to take care of first is always going to be the women. And then it's always going to be, the POCs.
Right. Right.
If they're like, I don't know how to read a contract, baby, give me the contract. Let's figure it out. And if we can't figure it out, I know attorneys that will read it for free, you know?
Right.
And we need more of that in the industry because there's so many people that are getting in because of the situations that I've been in. I liken it to the military. You know, you're getting in because of the shit that you're going through
Okay.
in your personal life and all that kind of stuff, but you don't know how to read contracts, how to protect yourself, and all that kind of stuff. And I realized, okay, this is why I'm in this industry, to help these people learn how to make money and learn how to read these contracts and stuff. And I know that if I help them do that, it's going to help them make money. And if they happen to be on my site, it's going to
Right.
help me keep my job.
Right. That part.
It's
It's a
a
win-win
win-win.
for everybody. And I
Yeah.
absolutely love that because like when you talk about the women of color, so or people of color in general, right? So
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna basically tell on myself. So if you watched my interviews, you will see every single person who stood in front of me, I asked them to introduce themselves. The reason I did that is I don't even know half these people. Like, and I'm just being honest. I don't know half of them. And when some of them said their name, I'm like, oh, I know who that is. Oh, okay, cool. But and and it's funny because when I was talking to Erica about this, she's like, you didn't have face cards or whatever. And my sister is in PR. She's like, you didn't have face cards? I'm like, no.
And I thought about that after, but guess what? If this happens again,
Oh,
we're
we're
prepared.
evolving. Fuck yes, we're
We're
evolving.
prepared.
Listen, I was here for the experience, all the shit that happened before we started recording. I don't none like nothing that went wrong was bad in my opinion because a whole lot of shit went wrong before we started. Okay. But
The
anyway,
microphones.
anyway, anyway. Point to my story is um Vicky Chase, going back to Jason Love, Vicky Chase was nominated for an award at the Fannies. And I asked her, it was a couple of things she was nominated for. And I asked her, what are you nominated for? And one of the things she said was like best non-white or something along those lines. And she wasn't the only person who I interviewed who also said they were in that category. So she was, I think by the time she showed up, she might have been the second or third person that said that. And by the time I got to her, I was like, you know what? Don't even try and figure out what the hell the category is because nobody who told me they were nominated for that category physically looked like they should have been in that category. And I say this to say, and this is no shade at Exotica because I love Exotica. No shade at them specifically. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because the industry, that is one of those industries that is very still very non-melanated in terms of who runs it and what people want to see. They want to see non-melanated people. They want to see non-melanated women with melanated men. And the beautiful black women that you see are often either in girl on girl situations, or if they're with a man, they're being treated like property.
Ooh, we going there, huh? Okay.
I am. Fuck, we're
Let me
there.
let me take a step. Okay.
We're there. Okay. And it's funny because when I'm at Exotica, so the okay, the first adult sex oriented event I went to was Sex Expo in Brooklyn. And
Sex.
a fan of mine insisted that I meet this woman. And I'm like, okay, I'll meet whoever you want me to meet. When he goes and takes me to this woman that he wants me to meet, turns out it's Naomi Banks. And I'm like, okay, hi, how you doing? I was kind of like in awe because I had been walking past her booth the whole weekend, and she's tall and statuesque and absolutely drop dead gorgeous, beautiful. So, I just was like, ooh, yeah, introduce me to her. And I take a picture with her and I send it to Lorenzo, and Lorenzo's like my porn guru. And he's like, do you know who it is? I'm like, I don't know who it is. It's a beautiful black woman. What the fuck? What? And then he had to go and explain to me. And so now I got to go look that shit up. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then you get Misty Stone. And I'm like, and my absolute favorite, and I'm drawing a blank on her name right now. And I hate that I can't remember her name. But when you think of big names of non-melanated or melanated black women, women of color in the industry, it's a
Anna
very
Fox.
small list of women who have huge name recognition. Very, very small. And what I mean
Yeah.
by huge name recognition, meaning they can do whatever they want to do and people will pay them the money to do whatever it is they want to do. And when I mean what they want to do, that includes what they don't want to do. Because a lot of black women have to do whatever is going to be a check. They don't get to pick what they can and can't do. And so
the one that comes to mind to me that I know her, but I don't know her well, but it seems that she has autonomy on what she wants and what she doesn't want to do is Anna fucking Fox. Um, and she is probably the most beautiful, just dark skin, chocolate drop, most beautiful, one of the most stunning women I have ever seen in my entire life. Dark skin in this industry, right? But I don't know, but she seems like she has complete autonomy on what she wants to do, as far as like, I want to say she was like directing for Playboy. I'm not quite sure, but what I do know is Erica represents her. So I do
okay.
know that.
Okay.
Do
We
know
gonna
that.
find out more then.
Is there a little bit of a fetish when it comes to, yes.
It's not even a little. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's also a slippery slope. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things to where, like, for instance, if I was going to be a cammer, I would probably be online right now, because I know for a fact that the French and the Italian men love me. Oh, and the Irishmen. Don't know why. They fucking love me. And those are the ones that I'm going to get money from.
Okay.
I'm going to utilize, oh, you have a fetish over Black American women. I'm about to make you my pay pig.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it's about, like, are you your own boss, or are you getting managed by somebody, that's in a studio that really doesn't know? They're just pimping you out.
Right. Right.
And I don't even
They're not
like
really
using that
familiar.
terminology. Like, I hate using that terminology
Right.
but that's
But
what it is.
mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree, and that's why I make it a point of saying that there is a very small handful of women that can genuinely pick and choose what they do.
Do I think that Exotica had a opportunity and a moment to bring on more women of color? Because let's be honest, Vicky Chase is considered POC. Let's be honest. She is. She's Asian
Yeah.
or half Asian or whatever. Don't give me that look. This is
Look, look,
me.
look.
So
I
this
told
is
you
the PR me.
I had a
So this is
fangirl
a
moment. So I'm not giving you the look to shade her because I had a straight up fangirl moment. This is why I did not
right.
speak to Jason
But
Luck.
I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. Is there an opportunity? Yes, there is. But there's also many factors that we have to come with. Who was, voting to get them nominated? That's one question.
Mm-hmm.
How were the votes being, like, did the creators know or talent know, hey, vote for me so I can be, a part?
Right.
That's another, there's so many things. Do I
That
think that
played.
there was
Oh yeah.
potentially a missed opportunity?
Yes. And
That's with every, you
and
know,
so to that point, when I looked at the people who were nominated, these are people who are consistently appearing at Exotica, right? Like, I mean, Vicky Chase is at Exotica every year, all year. So,
just
it's if you're and it logically it makes sense. It's the fannies. These are people who go to Exotica. But to your point, the point you literally just made, and I think this is true to any award show. If you know you want to be included in an opportunity in an award show, you as a fan have definitely got to do some of that work. And I'm going to use ASN Lifestyle Magazine as an example. When I first became affiliated with them, I won, I don't know, 2 awards that first year that I got affiliated. And then I won a third award. And then I wanted to be more a part of the production side of the award show. So I withdrew myself from being nominated for anything. But what I will say about this particular year, as in 2025, the number of melanated people nominated in the categories, and I don't remember, there's 20 something, 30 something categories. The number of non-melanated people nominated was amazing to me. I mean, so much so I was like, I didn't even know this person existed. Who is this? And so I think if Exotica decides to continue doing the fannies, I definitely think that that particular category may see some more people of actual color. Um, but and again, no shade, Dan and Jay. I'm not talking shit about y'all because I want you to keep
I
me on the red
think
carpet. I'm just
you but you
saying in terms of representation.
I think also, like, it was 20 years in the making. Do you know what I mean? It was 20 years in the making, and it was 20th anniversary. And again, it's one of those things to where they have the list of all the people that are potentially nominated.
Mm-hmm.
What are the people doing to advertise? Like, I know for a fact that there was a few people that I follow on social media that were actually shouting out, like, hey, I'm nominated, like,
Mm-hmm.
let's get me, so I
Right.
did see that. But I didn't see a lot of, like, advertising or pushing on the creator side. No shade to the creator side, but you also
Mm-hmm.
have to admit, like, what's next big thing that they're going to be nominated for, in the following month that they're focused on. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
And even though they can handle them in tandem, it's
Mm-hmm.
one of those things to where there's one award show that's happening year after year, and then there's one that happened on the 20th anniversary. In my mind, I'm thinking the 20th anniversary one is like bigger and better because, oh my gosh, it's the 20th anniversary. This is a big thing.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about the other one. really, in my mind.
I got you.
But a lot of creators, they're not thinking of it. It goes back to the out of sight, out of mind thing. It's also like, I can't tell you how many talent I tell, like I ask them if they've seen that movie Robots, where they say, see a need, fill a need.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You
Okay.
see a need, you can fill that. That's how you're going to get paid.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
They could have taken the fannies, they saw a need, they were able to fill it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get down on Exotica too hard on it,
No.
because I do know, like, first of all, like putting together a fucking show
It's a handful.
after
Yeah.
an expo is
Right.
mind blowing and fucking batshit crazy in
Right.
my book.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even. I no, I wouldn't even do it.
Right.
But
Right.
do I think that there needs to be a little bit more love shown towards the creators that are of color, that are a little bit darker than the brown paper bag, maybe have locks, natural hair, like, exhibiting the beauty. Like, I saw so much beauty when I was in XBiz Miami. So much beautiful, women from Colombia, Black, whatever.
Right.
I hope to see it like moving forward.
I,
All we
I
can do is wait and see.
I've not been to XBiz, believe it or not. I have to put that on my list. I have to put it on my list. But
We'll go next year.
okay. So be you know, you and I could sit here and do this all night, and we've already been here an hour and a half, and this is technically an hour long show.
I know. I'm almost
So,
done with my.
girl, look, I've got a sip. Like, you can't. There is so little in there, you can barely see it. And since we're here, let me just shout out my hand blown glass.
I
Um,
mean, how beautiful is that?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, a very, very, very lovely woman by the name of Sadie did this glass. Sadie's out in Las Vegas. She and I met on Twitter a bajillion years ago and just sort of hit it off out the gate. And she's a New Yorker. She's a Yankees fan. So, that was going to be whatever. But anyway, she made this glass for me. I've got a couple of other things, and she's going to be a guest on the show. I just got to get her booked. But here's the thing, 2025 for me is going to be all about women and all about empowering and supporting one another. And don't be surprised if the majority of the people you see, okay, I'm already going to tell you, the majority of the people you're going to see this year, they are my personal friend. And you will, through these interviews or conversations, see why I call these people friend. And, understand sometimes a friend isn't somebody you're talking to every single day, all day. Sometimes a friend is someone that you made this connection with, and you talk to each other when you need each other or when you think about each other. And sometimes it is somebody that you are talking to, and sometimes it's somebody that you just text. I mean, because I'm gonna tell you right now, there are times when Ella and I are just texting, feverishly texting.
It's usually when I'm being a little chismosa.
Girl,
It's usually when I'm being a chismosa, because I know if I'm going to tell a dirty little secret, I know that you're going to keep it for me.
listen. Don't even tell them that we have those moments, okay? Because now they're gonna want to know what the fuck are they talking about. None of your goddamn business. That's what we're talking about, okay?
But you know what? I want to challenge your fans, though. I want to challenge your fans, if they're going to any of the Exoticas for the remainder of the year. Like, I'm definitely going to go to the Miami one, and I'll be in the New Jersey one. I challenge them to come and talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
I challenge them to come and find us.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Get you a
Like,
VIP pass.
come and find us. You never know what kind of gifts and tricks and stuff I have up my sleeve that I could, be like, oh my gosh, you're a fan of Casey's, let me give you something. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's one of those things that is needed. And we're going to be doing fun interviews and putting together a sexy little
Yeah.
story.
Okay. So yes, I was gonna say before we go, let's circle back to where we were starting to go, where we were gonna talk about Exotica and
Yes.
Miami. So we had so much fun in Chicago
Chicago. Yes.
that we had this crazy idea.
Made
So
really fun friends in Chicago.
okay.
Maybe. We're gonna leave it at that.
We're gonna leave it at that. Okay, so if you've ever been to any Exotica on Friday, and depending upon which location, on Saturday, there was a line waiting to get in before the show starts. And sometimes that line is extremely long, or sometimes that line has started an hour or so before the doors actually, excuse me, before the doors actually open. So Ella and I had this crazy idea. Let's go talk to those people. Let's interview those people out online waiting to get into the show. And then we had an even crazier idea. And this idea definitely dates me because I'm older than Ella. But um this we had this idea of creating like a Mad Libs, like a story where as we're talking to you, the fans, we ask you questions. We ask you for words or phrases or what have you, and we will randomly drop those into a story that just happens to be about Exotica, and the end result will, you know, it's often, most times, very, very humorous. But if you are brave enough to be interviewed,
You're gonna want to be interviewed by one of us. Definitely by Casey, but you're gonna want to be interviewed because it's going to be a story, and Casey is a master storyteller. So you're going to want to be a part of it because Casey is like, first of all, we're lucky to have Casey. There's that.
don't make me blush.
Casey
Don't
is
make me
about to
blush.
blow up with interviews and all that kind, and like within the industry, because we have people that go around and do interviews around the industry, but we don't have anybody like Casey, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, you know, see a need, fill a need. You're going to want to be, just saying, you're going to want to be interviewed by Casey, and if you see me,
Please.
I'll even throw it out there. I'll tell you if your outfit's cute or like if I need to change it or something. I'll be nice about it. But no, you're going to want to be interviewed by Casey, especially if you're going to see us in Miami or New Jersey. Trust
And
me,
listen,
because
Ella
this story's going to
just
be
said something.
crazy.
Ella just said something that really caught my attention that I would love to be able to do, which is just randomly grab a fan, an attendee, and do what she did to my outfit. Take what you're wearing and elevate it. Hey, Jason. I would love to be able to just randomly find somebody, whether it's on the line waiting to come in or whether it's on the show floor, and be like, hey, can we just
Zhuzh
elevate
you up.
your outfit? Like, and understand we're gonna do this also in support of the vendors that are there. Uh-oh, Ella
I
got
got
a
an
thought.
idea.
Ella got a thought.
I'm gonna write it down. I'll talk to you off
Okay.
camera. Okay.
Because I think, you all come and support us and do what you do, but who actually then engages you? I mean, a lot of the guys we know stand online to take pictures with the stars, but there's so many people who just wander around and watch from the peripherals. What happens when you
Listen,
become a star?
alls I know is there's a lot of women that come in that think that they're sexy, and then they get in and they realize, oh shit, this isn't sexy. I'm not comfortable. I'm walking around like Bambi because my feet fucking hurt. And I don't like my outfit because my cam toe is crazy. I will step in. It will be like Clueless Project, baby. Come into the ladies' room with me. There's a meeting in the ladies' room. We'll be back real soon.
Real soon, right? And again, we're dating ourselves with this little reference there. But facts. Like, I am actually loving this idea. I'm gonna see what we can do to get some sponsors who will help.
Daddy Dan, give us permission, Daddy Dan.
I'm gonna put you on
Please.
that project, Ella. I'm gonna put you on the project. Hold on a second, wait, because
Say
we are
less.
about to go, but I just want to take advantage of this. So Jason is a faithful viewer of our BoobTube show, but BoobTube's not on tonight. So Jason, I appreciate you showing up to
Thank you,
Casey at Night.
Jason.
And so Jason, okay, it's not here. I was gonna show you Jason. Jason is such a loyal fan. So a few years back, Exotica had these gold satin jackets that you could only
I remember
get.
those.
Jason bought Casey one of those gold satin jackets. Okay.
Oh, we like Jason.
We love Jason.
You know what? Gifts, that's my love language too. Gifts and acts of let me look at, where's the camera? Right here.
That right there. Mm-hmm. Hold on,
Baby.
wait, don't talk yet. Hold on. Let me get you a solo camera. Hold on. There you go, Ella.
Are we good?
We're good.
Baby, you know who I'm talking to. Gifts and acts of service. I'm just telling you, and praise, because I have a praise kink that'll get you everywhere with me. Okay.
Okay.
Cuts.
That was a mouthful.
You got to put it out there. You have to put it out there.
You
know,
have to put it out there. I'm sorry.
There are people that are
They're looking for the opportunity.
They want the attention. I'm giving you the cheat code. You want the fucking attention? Here's the cheat code.
See? And Jason, I believe that everybody should be treated like everybody wants to be treated.
Jason, and this is why I like you. Yes. Thank you, Jason. Continue with the acts of service and the gifts with my good sis Casey. Thank you. Okay.
So Ella, before I let you go, any final thoughts? Any final thing you want to share with the people?
My final thoughts is always, like, if there's any creators or talent that are watching, is always stick with your brand. Always don't do anything that's not uncomfortable for you. Okay. If it's not for your brand and it doesn't make sense, then don't do it, because baby, it's not going to make any money. And if it does make money, you're going to hate yourself for doing it. Okay. So don't do it. And also, I don't gatekeep. If you ever want to get in contact with me, you can follow me on my socials, or you can shoot me an email. I'm easy to find. I'm not going to post anything on here, but I'm easy to find. If you know people, they know how to get in contact with me. And I have no problem with going over your brand and what's missing, if it needs to be tweaked, stuff like that. I have no problem with doing that. I'm not going to charge you, although I should be. I should be an image consultant charging for this shit, but I'm not going to do it because I like good karma. So, creators, do you need help? I got you. Come and talk to me at Exotica. Like I said, I'm not nice, but I'm kind. And I'm always going to be kind to the creators before I am the fans. But just don't come at me like a bunch of assholes, because I'm going to make you cry. That's all I got.
She did not just say, don't come at me like an asshole because I'm going to make you cry. That's my friend, y'all.
Like,
that's my friend.
What? Keep it cute, and I'll keep it what?
Mute. Hello, somebody. Okay, last comment from Jason. You're awesome, Casey. I'm saving all my money. Thank you, Jason. So Jason,
as you should, Jason.
Jason had been busy. Jason bought himself some real estate, so Jason hasn't come to Exotica the last couple years. I love that for Jason.
If Jason shows up in New Jersey, Jason will get some merch from SinParty.
That right there, Jason. You have made yourself a new friend, okay?
Just saying.
Yes, I will say hi to Lorenzo for you. Absolutely. So
Hey,
I just
Papa.
listen. We got through almost the whole show. Oh wait, before I forget. Before I forget. So we talked about the fact that we're going to be in Miami, right? We're not quite at
Yes.
June, but we are in Gemini season. My birthday is June 16th. We are we're celebrating in Miami, y'all. I'm here to tell you. Celebrating in Miami. Look at Ella's face. Yeah, my birthday.
Those that those that care about me that are financially free, I would love for you to donate to the cause to Casey's birthday. Hint, hint.
And listen, I okay, so I love the fact that I'm going to Puerto Rico for my birthday. Then I'm gonna be in Miami like literally a week and a half later. This is how you celebrate your fucking birthday, right? Like you enjoy and have a good time because I will be 56 on my birthday. Allow me to say that again. 56.
We should all, if we could all be lucky and look like you when we
Girl.
reach, like, this is the age of fine wine, baby.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So recently, my Instagram posts include these posts, these reels of people like where it's two sides. One side will be like people in their 20s or 30s, and the other side will be over 40. And it's like these line, and it's I think it's my one particular person, but it's like them doing line dancing, and you got the 20-year-old version of a line dance and the over 40 version of the line dance, and it and she be keeping it cute. She'll have her glass in her hand and her steps, which I have to admit I'm in that space. My steps are in a very small square, very small square. But baby, that shit is sexy as fuck. Is all I'm gonna say.
Take me salsa and bachata and I'm good. I don't need where them fans at and all that kind of stuff. I don't. I got a fan, but it's for drag bars and stuff like that. Listen, no shade, no shade,
No
no
shade.
shade to the song,
Everybody
no
got their
shade,
thing. Everybody got their
no
thing.
shade. But if you're
Everybody has
like
their thing.
Ella, we're
Look,
going salsa, probably gonna put out.
I don't know if y'all heard it. I heard it. If you didn't hear it, rewatch.
But it's gotta be a good one. It's gotta be. It can't be like some bucket. Like it's gotta be like a nice, classy.
Did were you watching when we mentioned about being bougie? Did I mention that part? Did you hear that part? Okay. Me and my friend. Hold on. Me and my friend.
I try not to, but it just
It is. No.
I
Listen,
every
anybody,
day.
look, I know you, friend. You and I like the same champagne. That shit don't run cheap, okay? So I'm just saying.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to buy Casey Krug champagne for her birthday while we're in Miami, just saying.
Just saying. Just saying. Because
Krug or
that
Bollinger, just
that has
saying.
become a thing that when Ella and I are together at Exotica, we are not just popping bottles, we popping good bottles. We're popping good bottles.
Who? My turn next time? My turn. My turn because it's your birthday. My turn
Well,
because it's
how
your
about I
birthday.
say this? There will be multiple bottles because it's my birthday. I mean, we are there multiple days, right? So I'm just saying. Just saying.
I think
Anyway,
we're gonna vlog while we're in Miami as well. So
yes.
if you want to see what the life and times and shenanigans of Casey and Ella,
You about
follow
to find
Casey's
out.
social because you're not gonna see it online. So life and
You
times
about
of
to
Casey
find
and
out.
Ella
You about to
because
find out. But
I like to hide my shit.
thank you, Jason,
But
for wanting to wish me a very special birthday. I appreciate
thank you,
you.
Jason. No, it was a pleasure talking to you. I'm so sad that Papa wasn't a part of this.
Papa's buying trip money. He's making trip money. So I
It's
don't know if
cool.
he's
I'm gonna text him. Be like, Where were you at? I needed support. Papa knows I'm shy.
Oh my God. Lord, here we go with that
Papa
bullshit.
knows that I'm shy.
Here we go with that bullshit. Stop it. Stop it.
No, you're funny. No, but real shit. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're getting me more comfortable with being in front of the camera. Do I
Good.
still hate it? Absolutely yes. But I'm learning my makeup and my angles. So there's that.
Okay.
And the lighting is a lot better than it was at the very beginning.
Listen, you look absolutely
And so
spectacular. You make the I'm trying to think of what is the right that because you're not overly made up. You are highlighted in all the right places, and I love it.
I am just because the more makeup you wear, the older you get, the older you look.
Yes, these are
You
facts.
know,
These are
and I
facts.
like that people can't clock my age. Like, I like that. I
Hmm.
like that the only way that they clock my age is when I open my mouth. They're like, "Oh, you're older because you know
You know
shit."
shit. Yes, yes, yeah. Listen,
So
that's part of why I love talking about how old I am, because folks never get it right. Like, they don't start getting close to how old I am until I start telling them, no, that's not how old I am.
they
So,
never get it right. They
and I
never get
love
it
that.
right. I do
And
too. Like, I just turned 45 and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I went to Dublin. I went to fucking like St. Patrick's Day for my birthday because I'm that stupid person. What did you do for your birthday, Ella? I went to St. Patrick's Day.
in
What
Dublin.
did you do? In Dublin. What did you do? What did you do? Yes. I
Oh
had shillelaghs and shamrocks and all kinds of shit.
my God. Lord, see, and again, where are we at? We're almost 2 hours into this. This is like
Listen,
when
the
I
eight.
talk about I don't invite people to my house where I actually do this show. However, Tyomi motherfucking Morgan invites herself to my house. She will only fucking interview if she's coming to my
Okay.
house.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I have been promising the people that are in your area that I would go and visit for the first time because I've never been.
Come on.
So maybe next Casey at night that you have me on, it'll be like live, the both of
Listen,
us.
you tell me you're coming to town, I will bump a motherfucker, okay? That's how serious that is. That's right. I will bump a motherfucker.
We're
I'm
not gonna
just
do all that. We're not gonna do. We're gonna plan it. We're gonna
Oh
plan
no, we're
it.
doing all of that. My goddamn show. I do what the fuck I want. Okay, so
We're gonna
that part.
plan it. We're gonna plan it. So, but no, all good. You guys, I'll see you in Miami. We will see you in Miami. We expect you guys to come, the 8 people that are watching right now. We expect you guys to come and say hi because I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be watching the show after we get off.
Oh,
We expect you to
listen,
come and say hi because you guys are also going to be a part of this story that we are creating.
you want to be a part of that. It will be a very unique experience. Ella and I have been to a lot of different conventions, and I promise you, nobody is doing anything like this, even
Nobody's doing it.
contemplating anything like this. We are literally trying to make a moment that is about you, the fan. So,
Everybody's going to get a happy ending.
ooh,
Literally. Maybe not from me or you,
oh,
but they're going to get it.
right. Not from us. Not from us. Right. That's
Not from me.
not, no. Mm-mm.
Not from you,
Not
but
from
they're
me
going to get
either.
a happy
No.
ending
Yes.
based off of
Mm-hmm.
what we're producing.
Okay. We will be here all night if I don't cut this shit off. So
True shit.
thank you so much, Ella, for being on. I haven't decided who's going to be on next week. We'll find out. But I know 2 weeks from today, I am going to have Erotic Sky Magazine's Lyric Sky and Carrie on the show. I didn't have the promo ready because we literally just decided this like 2 days ago. So I didn't have their promo ready yet. But I'm looking forward to whoever I have on next week, and I'm looking forward to the ladies in 2 weeks, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you in Miami. You are
Yes,
coming to
please.
Miami, right, y'all? You're gonna find us in Miami because I swear to God, I want someone to say I saw Casey at night, and you said come find us. I need the very first person who makes that statement. I don't know what I'm gonna give you, but I'm giving you something just because.
I want somebody to come up and be like, I saw Casey and Ella.
I'm telling you
That's what I want. I want somebody to be like, oh my gosh, Casey and Ella, I'm ready for the story.
that
Do I
part.
need to moan?
That
Yes, you need to moan.
oh, I thought you meant you.
Not me.
Sorry,
No, no, no.
sorry,
Not me. Whoever's. Do they
sorry,
need
friend.
examples? Maybe I'll give them examples. I don't know. But I am not talent. I am
Ooh.
not a creator. I can go only give you what a civilian can give you.
Girl, that's some good shit though. That's some good shit. Anyway, when because that was about to take me down a rabbit hole I don't want to go down. So again, thank you to my lovely guest Ella Dorsey from SinParty. Thank you to all of you for watching, and of course, a big gigantic thank you to Jason for being here as he always is at the 9 o'clock
Yes.
hour. But
Thank
we
you,
do
Jason.
so. All right, y'all. I will see you next week. Bye.